guys, Rogue TCG here doing another Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG deck profile. You saw my previous two Mutant videos, hopefully. One was Mutant Combo, and that one was the combo tutorial for it. Now this is going to be probably the more realistic form of Mutants, to be honest, the most competitive version, which unfortunately is Mutant Stun, Mutant Control, whatever you'd like to call it. This is my twist on it. This is what I've been able to see at least a moderate success with. Unfortunately, just due to the nature of the mutant cards, even though each card is individually reads very powerfully, um, they just technically don't do enough. There's not enough starters, there's not enough spells that do anything good or anything like that. So we're just kind of stuck in this situation where the mutants are just kind of in a perpetual purgatory that need to be relying on just floodgates and stun tools and all that. So here are the 40 cards. We do a 15 in extra and 15 in the side. I will be going over the side as well. We are running the big mutants to Arsenal to Beast. Arsenal using traps off our mini mutants and Beast using monsters. Arsenal is unaffected by, not unaffected, but can be targeted with traps, and it can banish monsters on the field. And Beast can negate spell and spell card effects, and is unaffected by monsters, or can't be targeted with monsters rather. They're both pretty big, 3,000 and 2,500. Sorry, 2,400. Mutant Arsenal is the largest one, but since this is the stun version, we do have a very large amount of traps, so we are playing double Arsenal. We are running triple ST46 on summon. It'll search a spell or a trap, and then you can contribute to get a mutant big guy out of deck. We're running triple MO5. MO5 adds a mutant monster and triple mutant. We were running two before just because we were running the Thunder Dragon cards and we weren't super deep on mutants, but now we are deep on mutants, so we do want to be running mutant. It's basically a mutant for free without banishing from our hand, but we do have to pay life. Triple Dimension Shifter, the one hand trap in the deck, or technically two hand traps. Dimension Shifter, this deck can play under macro very easily. It banishes its cards off the mini mutants, and the only thing it turns off is potential cross sheep lines. But since this is the control deck, we're not really running our cross sheep lines. We're just trying to get any advantage that we can. Then we're running triple Prosperity, just to go through our deck to find our mini mutants or cards that let us get to our mini mutants as fast as possible. Called by the Graves to stop interaction, especially like, for example, some piece of interaction on our Dimension Shifters. Called by the Grave can't stop that. Emergency Teleport, because these are level 3 or lower psychics. They're all level 3 or lower. So you can special summon any of the mutants off of Emergency Teleport, so this grabs any mutant from deck. Double Dimensional Fissure, any monster sent to the graveyard is banished instead. Very useful card. Mutant Evolution Lab, when this card's activated, special summon a mutant from level 4 or lower mutant from your hand or banish. And mutants you control gain 100 attack for each of your banished mutant cards with different names. And then it lets you put a mutant from your hand onto the bottom of your deck and then draw a card. So it lets you recycle your big mutants that are stuck in hand into new draws. Unfortunately, though, you can't do this after you Prosperity, so that is a little bit of a nombo in the deck. And then we have Triple Mutant Cry. This is a trap card fusion that shuffles from field, grave, and face up banish into the deck, which is very useful to make mutant synthesis, or Ultimus. Synthesis being a Dryad on summon, and Ultimus being a negation machine. And then we're running triple summon limit. If we count our summons during our turn, it's typically normal summon a mutant, activate the effect, activate the mutant effect, get a big mutant. And that's typically the end of our turn. So we play under summon limit very well, especially during our opponent's turn too. We can use both of our summons. Let's say, for example, with Emergency Teleport or one of the cards we're getting up to, we can summon on our opponent's turns, just utilize the summon limit as much as possible. Triple, there can be only one. Psychic, Beast, Machine. Psychic, these are Psychics. We're never really going to have more than one of these mini mutants on the board at a time because they do tag themselves out. So we can play under the Peekaboo very well. Each player can only control one monster of each type. If a player controls two or more monsters of the same type, they must send some to the grave so they control no more than one of that type. And lastly, or not lastly, almost lastly, Mutant Expansion. This is an E-Tele on activation for a level 4 lower mutant. But you can also add it to your hand. If a level 8 or higher mutant you control be destroyed by card effect, you can banish this from your field instead. So it is protection for our big mutants while this is on board. And when it is activated, we can grab a mini mutant. So that's why we're running 3 of it, because it's just more mini mutants on our opponent's turns to get as much advantage as we can. Infinite Impermanence, our last card in deck, was just a card that you should probably run. It's a good card. Next on the extra, we are running Prosperity Board. So we're running triple Ultimus, triple Synthesis. Ultimus needs 3 level 8 or higher fusion mutant monsters. So we do have 3 in deck. We do have Beast, Arsenal, and we have 4 total. But we can also make this using Synthesis, using Mutant Cry, because it is a level 9. You can, if card effect is activated, you can banish a mutant card from your hand, graveyard, or face of the field with the same type, monster, spell, or trap. Negate and banish that card, and if it's destroyed by card effect, you can have 3 of your banished mutant cards. And we do have all 3. We have Mutant Evolution Lab, Mutant Expansion, Mutant Cry, and all the mutant monsters. So we can typically negate anything. Mutant Synthesis is a dry and unsummon and then become unaffected by card types of cards your opponents activate. Then we have Double Tingirsu, because these are both level 8s. And we're not locked out, so this can get rid of problem cards, such as an example is Dragoon. Tingirsu, that's Dragoon. We are also running a Zeus for those Tingirsus, but we're in a Prosperity board, so if we don't think we're going to need it, we can get rid of it. Underworld Gods, the Closed Worlds, for very problematic cards, Mech Knight, Avermax, etc., etc. Access Code Talker to try and close out games. Nightmare Unicorn to shuffle back stuff. SP Little Knight to just be obnoxious, and double Cross Sheep, because we are still doing the Cross Sheep stuff, it's just not as much anymore. So we want the ability to keep on doing that stuff. Now onto the sideboard. My sideboard looks very specific. Your board will look very different than mine will, most likely. Triple Macrocosmos, same thing as Dimensional Fissure, but worse, because it gets spells and traps as well. Triple Dimensional Barrier. Our deck is good, so we're not having fun, so our opponents aren't going to have fun either. Triple Nibiru. I don't want to see what you're doing on your turn. I don't want to have to deal with your end board. I'm going to throw a big rock on it. Triple Evenly Matched. That's a lot of cards you set. Let's get rid of them all. Harpy's Feather Duster. Those are a lot of cards you set. Let's get rid of them all. And then Dark Ruler No More. That's a lot of cards on your board. Let's just not have to read them. Yeah, this deck, it's a deck. It's an interesting deck. This one specifically, not interesting. This isn't an interesting list. This is just control stun, but this is, right now, I think this is the best that Mutant can do right now, unfortunately. I really wish it could do a lot more and a lot cooler things, but I think this is where it's at right now. We need maybe a new fusion monster, a new. It doesn't even make sense to make another one of these big mutants because monster, spell, trap. What else is there? We don't have battles like MTG does, where they get to add a new type every single other set. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys still are, please leave a like, subscribe, and follow. It does really help me out a lot. I appreciate all the recent support, and I'm going to see y'all next time. Bye.